To assignment overview 1.03 triangle similarity, where I am going to go over all of the possible problems that you might have in assignment 103. First problem says the triangle BAC is similar to triangle DEC. Notice that you have two right triangles here, and they are asking for the value of x. So the easiest way to solve for the value of x is to set up a proportion. So you're going to write a proportion that matches the corresponding sides, such as AB divided by ED. So that would be 15 divided by 31.5 is equal to AC divided by EC. So that would be equal to 18 divided by X. Now you're going to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you will find the value of x. Another problem that you might have says triangle BAC is similar to triangle DEC. Now here you notice that we've added a little bit more than just an x. We have a 2x on line AC, and we have a 3x plus 5 on the line EC. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the proportion for you so that you can see how this works. Here that I've set up the proportion so that AC is divided by EC. So we've got AC as 2x and EC as 3x plus 5. And I've set that up equal to DE divided by BA, which is 24. So here's BA right here, 24 divided by 40. Now I'm going to cross multiply. And if you're not sure how to cross multiply, I would look this up because this is super important. But the easiest way to cross multiply is you're going to take the top, which is 2x, and you're going to multiply that by 40. And I'm going to put this in parentheses. You could also, use an asterisk here or a dot. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. The difference is instead of putting my 2x or my 3x plus 5 on the outside like I did here, I'm going to put my 24 on the outside, and let me show you why I'm going to do that. So I'm going to say 24 times 3x, and we know that that's the same because we can put anything that we multiply. We know that 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2, so we can just move those around and multiply them, and they're going to come up with the same product. Okay, so the reason that I'm going to do this is I know that if I have two x's and I multiply them by 40, I actually get 80 x's, right? But what I want you to see on this other side is distributive property. And I know that we've talked about this in many, many, many classes, not just in geometry, not even just in Algebra 1. We've even talked about this in pre-algebra and probably even further back than that. So you're going to want to pull out your calculator and you're going to want to say 24 times 3x. Okay, so 24, 48, 36, right? So 24 times 3, that's going to give us 36 x's. All right. Then we're going to say 24 times 5. And you can go ahead and figure out the rest of the multi-step equation from here. This problem later on, if you want to see what it would look like to simplify before you multiply, but I'm going to keep it simple for right now and move on to the next problem. All right, so for this problem, we see that before climbing, Carlos wants to know the height of the rock wall he's going to climb. He places a mirror on the ground between him and the base of the wall, so he can see the top of the wall in the mirror. Okay, so here's his mirror right here. The mirror is 4 feet from Carlos, 4 feet from Carlos, and 36 feet from the base of the wall. And we know that Carlos is 5.8 feet tall. So what is the height of the wall? Let's go ahead and notate what we've been given. Notated the distance of the mirror as well as the distance from the mirror to the wall. Another thing that I want to point out is that this is a right triangle and this is the right angle that corresponds to the smaller angle. That means that the hypotenuse is here and the other hypotenuse is here, and this is what we're looking for the distance of. So we can set it up so that HT is going to correspond with GH, meaning that we can say HT divided by JS. And I hope I said that right in the video. Then we can say, oh, well, these two sides are corresponding as well. So we can say TV, so same triangle on the top, same triangle on the bottom, by VS or SV. T comes first. T is where my right angle is. So by SV. Now all I have to do is substitute my known values and solve for x. Okay, let's look at the next problem that you might possibly have. Surveyors need to measure the distance across a pond. They created similar triangles in this picture. What is the distance across the pond? We notice here that here is our right angle and here is our right angle. That means that 90 is corresponding to 205, and we can set that up so that we say 90 corresponds with, and I said 205, but I meant 207. I apologize. You can see that pretty clear. 90 divided by 207 corresponds with, remember, same triangle, 170 over x. You can go ahead and cross multiply, and that will give you the distance across the pond. Remember when you're entering your answer into the box that you want to round to the nearest foot? Also, so that means whole foot, right? So it's going to be a whole number. Also, don't put in the FT or the feet or even the foot mark. You do not want to use those in an exit ticket. Anytime that you're doing an exit ticket, you just want to put in the full number, not the units. All right, as promised, I said I would go back to this problem and show you how to simplify before you multiply. So since I already have green on here, this works out perfect. We notice here that we have 24 divided by 40, and we see that 24 divided by 40 can be simplified. So if this is the case, then I would look and see, so what goes into both numbers? It looks like I can divide 24 by 8, And I would get, when I divide 24 by 8, I would get 3. And when I divide 40 by 8, I would get 5. So that's what it would look like to simplify before I multiply, because now I can say 2x times 5, and I can say 3 is equal to 3 times 3x plus 5. And that gives me just some smaller numbers. Now, I suggest that you use your calculator at all times in geometry, because it's not knowing how to multiply that's important right now. You should have already known that and learned that. It's knowing where to put the numbers to get the correct answer. And the calculator cannot do that for you. So using a calculator is not cheating in geometry. All right. If you do not, or if you do have questions, please let me know. There is my email and my cell number.